Hey guys, today we are taking a look at the mini lesson, and this is a little bit different because you'll be looking at the computers during class and doing the work with me. This is something that we're trying so that we can help you guys all move at the pace that works for you and also help free up Mr. Marino and myself so that we can give you more individual attention if and when you need it. So, first I have to Okay, so let's take a look here. So we're looking at multi-step start, change, end, which is not new to you guys with unit conversions, okay? So this is a lot of simple math put together to make it seem more complicated than it really is, all right? So let's take a look. At the Uncommon Prep School Picnic, there is a dunk tank where students can attempt to dunk their teachers if they throw a ball and hit the target. The dunk tank has a capacity of 92 gallons. The night before the fundraiser, they filled 14.5 gallons of the tank. On the day of the fundraiser, the hose broke, and they could only use quart containers, which sounds awful, quart containers to fill the rest of the tank. How many quarts were needed to fill the tank? So I'm going to take a look over here at my steps for success. Just read the problem. Cool, we did that, all right? The next thing I want to do is go through and mold the problem. And I started to do that. So the dunk tank has a capacity of 92 gallons. So capacity means when it's full. That's the when it's full, that's the most it can have. And the night before they did 14.5 gallons. So that's how much is filled. Okay. And then they had to use quart containers. How much was needed to fill the rest of the tank? So I have this quart, so I'm going to have to do a conversion. And you guys are going to get conversion charts on your state exam, and basically on any math test you have from here on out, you'll probably get a conversion chart. So identify unit conversions, and if those conversions will go from a larger unit to a smaller unit, or a smaller unit to a larger unit. So here I'm going from gallons to quarts, and quarts are smaller, okay, because it is 4 quarts to 1 gallon. So I'm going to model this problem, okay? The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say I have 92 gallons, all right, and I can subtract the 14.5 gallons that were filled before the hose broke, okay? And so that leaves me with 77.5 gallons to go. And oh boy, I have a whole lot of quarts that I'm going to need to put in here. So I'm going to do a conversion here. I'm going to say 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. That's my basic conversion. I don't know if you guys remember Gallon Man from when you were in 5th grade. And I need to line this up, 77.5 gallons, okay? And remember, I want to make sure that across this equation, I have the same units, right? So over X quarts, all right? And so in this case, I can cross multiply, all right? And so I have 4 times 77.5 is equal to X times 1, or just X, okay? And when I do 4 times 77.5, which we're going to have you do in your calculators, you are going to get 310 is equal to X. So it takes 310 quarts to fill up the rest of this dunk tank. So that means somebody spent a lot of time making sure that these folks had fun at this picnic. All right. So let's continue down, and we are pushed right into independent practice because, again, this is a review, but we'll do this first one together. I am asking that you use the calculators that you have and not your calculators on your computer, because when we get to the state exam, that's the calculator you're going to be able to use, is that plain old scientific calculator. So let's take a look. Chelsea and her family are flying from New York to Paris, visiting Paris for 4 days, and then flying back to New York City. When Chelsea leaves New York City, her bag weighs a total of 47 and 2/10 pounds. While in Paris, she purchases 1.1 pound of clothes and 0.35 pounds of gifts and 2.3 pounds of toys for her younger cousin. At the airport in Paris, she is told that her bags cannot exceed 25 kilos. Which statement is true about Chelsea's bag? Okay, so now I'm going to go back and I'm going to use mole. Okay, so Chelsea and her family, they're traveling from New York to Paris for 4 days and then flying back to New York City. So I'm remembering, I actually don't think this 4 days is going to be of any interest to me at all. Let me move forward because I'm not going to circle that if I don't think I need it. When Chelsea leaves New York City, her bag weighs a total of 47.2 pounds, okay, because I'm dealing with weight here and I don't think I need that measurement of time. When in Paris, she purchases 1.1 pounds of clothes, 0.35 pounds of gifts, and 0.23 pounds of toys for her younger cousin. At the airport in Paris, she's told her bags cannot exceed 24 kilos. And I'm going to circle this in a different color because I'm looking at a different unit, okay? And my question here is, which statement is true about Chelsea's bag, okay? So the couple of things I need to do. First, I need to know what is my conversion of kilograms to pounds, okay? So what I can tell you is that 1 kilogram is equal to 2.205 pounds, and 0.454 kilograms is equal to 1 pound, okay? And so what I want to do is I actually want to add up all of her weight here. So I have my 47.2 plus my 1.1 plus my 0.35. All right, 47.2, 1.1, 0.35 plus my 2.3. Okay, and if it makes you feel better to put zeros here, that's fine. So when I add those all up using my calculator, I'm going to put 50.95 pounds. All right, so this is how many pounds it weighs. We need to figure out how much that is in kilos, okay? So I want to go from pounds to kilos. I'm going to put my kilo conversion here, 0.454 kilos over 1 pound is equal to X kilos, because that's what I don't know, over 50.95 pounds. All right, and then I'm going to cross multiply, and I'm going to go ahead and use my calculator, okay? And so it would be one x is equal to, I have 0.454 times 50.95, and I'm going to get 23.1313 kilograms. All right, so this is how much her bag weighs in kilograms. And so now I need to go back up here, and it says 25 kilograms was the limit. So now let's take a look and see what's true. Chelsea's bag is 59.5 kilos underweight. Oh, that's not the case. Chelsea's bag is 112.9 kilos overweight. No, it looks like we are actually underweight. Chelsea's bag is 1.84 kilos underweight. And so if I look here, I have that she has 25 kilos is her limit, and she's at 23.1313. So I'm thinking C is probably going to be my correct answer. My other one is Chelsea's bag is 23.15 kilos underweight, which also doesn't make sense, right? So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to just circle this because C is my correct answer. Make sure that you have that. Okay, and right now, as we're working on the computers, what I want you guys to do is work on this independent practice. Try to do it on your own. Try to use all of your strategies of mole, use your calculator, and then when you're done, just push play, and we'll go through some of the IP here together. All right, so let's take a look at number 2. Monday morning at 8 a.m., the icicle hanging from Jalen's house was 2.7 centimeters long. As the snow fell, the icicle grew at a rate of 0.5 inches per hour. How many centimeters long was the icicle when the snow stopped falling at noon? All right, so okay, so I do care about my 8 a.m. because I'm going from 8 a.m. to noon, and I know that I had 0.5 inches per hour, okay? And I do care that my icicle started at 2.7 centimeters long, and I'm being asked how many centimeters was the icicle at noon, okay? So your conversion here is that 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. All right. And the opposite of that conversion is 0.394 inches, forgive me, is equal to 1 centimeter. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to find out first how many inches. Okay, so between 8 a.m. and noon, that's 4 hours. Okay, so I have my 4 hours here between 8 a.m. and noon times 0.5. All right, and so I know that it fell 2 inches, that it grew, the icicle grew 2 inches in those 4 hours. Okay, so now I'm going to add how much am I working with total? Okay, so I had 2.7 centimeters plus 2.7 centimeters. Sorry, forgive me here. And I want to convert my inches to centimeters. All right, so I'm going to do 1 inch over 2.54 centimeters. All right, is equal to 2 inches. My units are lined up over x. I'm going to go ahead and cross multiply. That in that 4 hours, we grew 5.08 centimeters. Now I'm going to hop right back up here and add that 5.08 centimeters to the 2.7 centimeters. I'm going to do that on my calculator because I can. All right, and that's going to be 7.78 centimeters long. Okay. Pause, let's try another one again on your own, and then come back and see how you did. Mr. Charles is training for his first marathon, and some days he sprints and other days he jogs. His trainer tells him that in order to prevent injury, he cannot exceed 2,500 yards of sprinting per week. On Monday and Wednesday, he sprinted for 0.25 miles, and on Saturday, he sprinted for 0.75 miles. How many more yards can Mr. Charles sprint before he exceeds his limits? Okay. He's training for a marathon. He wants to do his sprinting. His trainer says he cannot exceed, right? He cannot go over 2,500 yards of sprinting per week. So on Monday and Wednesday, he sprints 0.25 miles. I'm going to put a little thing down here reminding me that that's times 2. And on Saturday, he sprints for 0.75 miles. How many more yards can Charles sprint before he exceeds the limit? Okay. 1 mile equals 1,760 yards. Okay, and so the first thing I want to do is I want to add how much he sprinted. Okay, so how much did he sprint? He did 0.25 times 2, so he did 0.5 plus 0.75. 0.75. Let me make sure. 0.25, 0.75. All right, and that got him to 1.25 miles. So he's already sprinted 1.25 miles. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 1.25 miles over X, because I'm not sure how many kilometers that is. And then I'm going to put 1 mile over 1760, okay? I'm going to cross multiply, and I'm going to go 1760 times 1.25. All right, and I'm using my calculator. Okay, 1760 times 1.25 is equal to, that gives me 2,200, okay? And so I know that this means that he has now sprinted 2,200 yards, okay? He can't do more than 2,500 yards, so I'll do my little subtraction, 2,500 minus 2,200, okay? How many more yards can he sprint before he exceeds the limit? He can sprint 300 yards, okay, before he exceeds the limit. All right. Now, this is assuming that on Monday and Wednesday, we had to combine Monday and Wednesday. Okay. So that would have been the big trick in this problem that might have thrown you off. Very cool. We're going to do one more together, okay? And then you guys are gonna work independently, get your exit ticket done, and we will see how this new computer experiment goes for us. I'm very, very excited. All right, Lanaya is building a computer using copper wire to connect the circuits. There is a piece of wire on the computer that is 30 centimeters long. As she has two additional pieces of wire, each 9.6 inches in length. What is the total amount of wire she has in centimeters? All right, cool. So I have 30 centimeters long, and then she has two additional, okay, that are each 9.6 centimeters in length. And I'm going to do this because I know that I have to multiply this by 2, okay? And my 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. So I'm going to use that conversion. And I'm going to say 1 inch over 2.54 centimeters is equal to, so 9.6 times 2, 9.6 times 2 is going to give me 19.2, I believe. 19.2, let me check on that. Yep, okay. 19.2 inches over X. I will cross multiply. Okay, and my X is 48 equals 48.768. And then I just want to add this 30. So my answer, 867.8, is 78.7. And up here, it's telling me that I should probably round. Okay, so I take the 8. The 8, I look, so I go from the 6, I look next door. Next door is bigger than 5. You guys remember that song? Great, so I take the 8, it's going to make my 6 a 7. So my answer here is D, 78.77. All right, gentlemen, good luck. You're going to have a great time on your exit ticket. I will see you soon.